We're going to give folks a couple of minutes to make their way into the class, but while we're doing that, let me go ahead and share my screen and get things ready from my side. So, and while I'm moving things around, I'll go over the housekeeping for my classes. If you're new to my classes, when you have questions and comments, just unmute yourself and ask away if you're in the Zoom session. You don't need to raise your hand and wait for me to call on you. But if you would rather put your questions in the chat is also open and available. And John from our TA group is here to help with the class today. He'll help me make sure I don't miss anything in the chat, but he's also available in case you have any technical problems or any other issues during the class. Just reach out to John via the chat and he'll be happy to help you out. Thanks for joining us, John. Appreciate your help today.
You're welcome, Wade.
And for those of you still in the lounge, if you want to stay in the lounge and watch the class from there, that's perfectly okay as well. Just put your questions and comments in the chat there in the lounge, and they'll make their way over to me. But if you want to come over here to the Zoom session and ask that question out loud, all you need to do is click on that orange Join Zoom button in the upper right-hand corner. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Got a good crowd here. Thanks everybody for joining. The class today is Harnessing the Power of Apple Wallet. This is a 20-minute class. My name is Wade, and I'll be your guide for the class today. And this is the first time we've taught this class, so hopefully you'll enjoy it, and we'll figure it out. So the first thing we want to talk about is why should you use Apple Wallet? And there's a number of reasons why you might want to use Apple Wallets. One is for convenience. It makes it easy to pay for purchases in stores, in apps, online. Probably the bigger feature is the security of using Apple Wallet. It uses a strong security feature to protect your financial information. Your debit credit card numbers are never stored on your device or on the Apple servers. So those credit card numbers and debit card numbers aren't available for anyone to steal because they're not stored. And when you make a purchase, it uses a unique transaction code that's generated instead of sending your credit card number as part of the transaction. So it really does protect your credit card numbers and, to me, even more importantly, your debit card numbers when you're doing these transactions. And the flexibility. It gives you one place to keep all of your information. So what can you store in your Apple Wallet? As we were just talking about, debit and credit cards, probably one of the main things you're going to be using. You need those for Apple Pay, which we'll be talking about in a few minutes. But you can also store boarding passes if you're flying anywhere. I always put my boarding passes in Apple Wallet. It makes it easy to find them when you're checking in. Event tickets for things like concerts, movies, sporting events, you can put them into your Apple Wallet. Loyalty cards and reward cards from various retailers and businesses. Driver's license for only a few states so far, but there'll probably be adding more and more as we go along. I'll show you which ones currently will allow you to put your driver's license in Apple Wallet. And you can use it for your Apple Cash. You can put your Apple Cash card in there. Okay. So again, kind of based on the name, its idea is it would replace your physical wallet that you used to have with all these types of things in there. And again, if you have questions, let me know. So let's look at how you put things into your Apple Wallet now that we know what it is and why we might want to use it. So let me grab my phone over here. And Apple Wallet looks like this. It should be on your phone. It is an Apple app, so it comes with your phone. If it happens not to be there, you can go back to the App Store and reload it, but I don't think you can even delete this one, so it should be on your phone. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Wallet. And go back to the home page. So this is the home screen that you would normally see. But if I want to add something in there, I've already got some things in my wallet, but if I want to add something new, all I have to do is click on the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner. And it brings the Add to Wallet screen up. And these are the things you can add to it. You can apply for an Apple credit card if you don't have one of those and want to apply for one straight from here. I don't have one yet, and I've got enough credit cards. If you have a credit balance in your Apple account, you can access that from here as well. But these are the main things you're probably going to be doing and adding. This is where you add credit cards and debit cards. So if you want to add a card, you would just click here. And it tells you a little bit about what's going on, and you hit continue. And you would just put your card down on the screen, on the table, and you can't see it on mine, but it has a screen here where you can put your, see your credit card here, and it will read the information from your credit card. So you don't have to type in all those numbers and everything. Makes it very easy. If it's not, for some reason, picking up your card, you can enter everything down here manually. And it's that simple to add something to your wallet. So that's for credit cards and debit cards. Transit cards, again, there's only a few so far. Let's touch that. And it in the United States, Clipper San Francisco, Smart Trip, which is in DC, and TAP, which is in Los Angeles. So if you have those transit cards, you can load those. Hopefully they'll be adding more in the future. Good question, Medicare card. Currently, you can't put your Medicare card in there. That would be a nice addition, but to my knowledge, you can't put that in there. Let's see, Helen had a question. Yeah, we'll talk about loyalty cards actually right in 1 second, Helen. Let me just cover driver's license so I don't forget it. So here's the third one, driver's license and state ID. Only in these 4 states so far. Hopefully they'll add more because I'm in North Carolina and I don't have that option yet, but it'd be nice to have your driver's license stored in there. For loyalty cards and other cards, instead of adding them through here, those cards or those websites would have a link somewhere on the website that says add to Apple Wallet. And some stores, cards have it, some don't. Some of the major ones you would expect, like Starbucks, doesn't have an option to store it in Apple Wallet. So it's not everyone, but instead of loading it yourself, you have to get find it on either their app or on their website. There would be an add to Apple Wallet link where it would have either something you could scan or a code to put in to load it. In fact, I've got my vaccination card down here, and that's how I got this in here. It was from Walgreens, and when I was at the Walgreens site to check my information, it had a load Apple Wallet option to click, and I just clicked on it, and it dropped it in my wallet here. Good question. So, did I hear another question? Coupons, don't think they are. Again, it would have to be a link on the coupon. I think more and more things maybe will be able to add, but for anything other than those cards, it would have to have a link on the document itself that allows you to add it to Apple Wallet. Okay, so let's talk about Apple Pay, because that's probably the main reason most people use Apple Wallet is to use the Apple Pay. And Apple Pay is a mobile payment service by Apple, of course, and allows users to make payments in person at stores, in iOS, Apple apps, or on the web at sites if they accept Apple Pay as a way to pay. To use Apple Pay, you need one of the following: an iPhone 6 or newer, an Apple Watch, or an Apple iPad Pro. They all will use Apple Pay. So let's talk about using Apple Pay for in-store purchases. Again, I think this is probably the most used feature of Wallet. So if you are at the store and you want to use your Apple Pay to check out, all you have to do is go to the checkout counter and check the little credit card machine to see if it has this emblem on it, which says they accept Apple Pay. Most of them do now, but not all of them. If it does, then you just walk up and you double click the right side, that right-hand button I'll do that. And it opens up an option here. It wants to verify that, do the Face ID to verify the purchase. And you set a default card, so it's going to default in my case to my Citi Double Cash card. But if I want to use a different card and want to use American Express, I can do that instead. Oops. And you don't even have to be in the Apple Wallet to do this. From anywhere, you can double click. And it brings this up. So once you've, okay, and it did my face validation. Now it tells me hold it near the reader. So you just go up and hold it beside where you would normally slide your credit card, but you don't have to touch it. So it's a touchless form as well, which is nice to some people. If you don't have Face ID, instead of doing the Face ID, it would pop up a place to enter your code, your passcode. So you hold it near the terminal, and then it's going to read and pop up a screen saying payment is done. It would look like this. So you just hold your phone by there, it brings it up, and you click pay, and then it comes back and says done, and you're finished. So again, very simple. The cash card we'll talk about in a minute. Helen, we're going to get there. You can also pay online. So if you are shopping online or shopping through an app on your phone, if you've got a Walgreens app or Walmart app on your phone and you're shopping on your phone, assuming it accepts Apple Pay, and when you go to checkout, if it has this little icon, you know that you can just pay with the Apple Pay. So again, you can click there to pay with Apple Pay. Okay, so here's the Apple Cash that Helen was asking about. That's the other thing a lot of people use their wallet for, is to use Apple Pay or Apple Cash. Apple Cash is a peer-to-peer payment service that allows you to send money to or receive money from people that you know. It's similar to Venmo or Zelle. There's lots of other peer-to-peer payment services out there, but of course this one is built into your Apple phone. It does require an Apple Cash card and a debit card to work, and we'll talk about how to do both of those. So to set up your Apple Cash card, you have to go into settings. So we'll go into settings and scroll down to wallet. And it's right here, wallet and Apple Pay. And at the top, you would click here to turn on Apple Cash. And it'll have the payment cards that you've entered into your wallet, but it'll also have the Apple Cash card here. So if you haven't already set up an Apple Cash card, you would just touch there, and it'll walk you through the steps to set that up. I've already got one set up, so you can see I have an Apple Cash card, and then I can see I've got a $10 balance on my Apple Cash card.
Question, Wade?
Where
does the cash come from for the Apple Cash?
Your debit card. That's why you have to have a debit card.
Is it only a debit card? It can't be a credit card?
It cannot be a credit card. It has to be a debit card. Yes, good question.
Okay.
Yeah, because I tried to.
Because I was thinking like on PayPal, it takes a credit card and so on. Okay, yeah. So it has to be a debit card.
Yeah, because I tried to do it without a debit card and it wouldn't work. So yeah, I know that one from experience.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. So once you've got this set up, you've got it turned on here, and you've got your Apple Cash card set up. And so you're having lunch with somebody, and you're going to split the bill, and the bill comes, and so they're going to put it on their credit card, and you're going to send them money for your half of it or whatever. You would just open your wallet. And this is where you're going to go to your cash card, which is that one. So I touch that, and it opens my cash card. And if I don't have any money in my cash card, and when you first create it, there's not going to be money in there. So before I can do this, before I can give this to the person, or if I don't have enough money in here, I can add more money to my cash card. So maybe my part of the bill is $25 and there's only $10 here. You touch the more in the upper right-hand corner and add money. And you come down here and put in however much you want to end, how much you want to put in, and click add up at the top. I'm not going to add any more to it. And that will take money from your checking account via your debit card and put it into your Apple Card. Now, if you've got a higher balance here than you want to have, maybe several people have paid you for something and you want to put some of that money back in your bank account, then you would click on the more and click on the transfer to bank. Same thing, it tells you what your balance is. That's the most you can transfer. You can type some or all of that, hit next, and send it to your bank account. But so let's say I just need to send whoever I'm having lunch with $10. So I've got enough money here. So I would just click here to send or request. Maybe I'm the one that paid for it. That's why I'm going to request money from somebody else. So you put the person, and I'll pick on my wife and hit next in the upper right-hand corner. And how much? $8. And here's where I can either send them money or request that they send me money.
Question, Wade. Does it have to be Apple to Apple? Like, can you send money between Apple and Android or things like that?
No. So that's one of the, that would be one of the limitations. At least I say no, I haven't tried that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Let me double check that and put it in the class notes. But since it's Apple, I would think it only is going to work with someone else that has an Apple phone.
Okay, thank you.
But I will double check because I haven't tried or haven't looked that up specifically.
How does that person get set up so that they come up on your list?
It's your contact list. Let me cancel. Let me do that again. So this, when I start typing, this goes into my contacts and pulls it. But if they're not in my contacts, I can click the plus and add them to my contacts and send them that way.
But they're in a contact, but they're a contact, but they've got to be able to receive money into their Apple wallet or something, right?
Yes, and so at some point, if they either don't have Apple Cash set up, then they would have to get that set up. I'm assuming I haven't had that happen, or it was because typically you're with friends, and so you're not going to be trying to send it to somebody that doesn't have Apple, but I'll check on both of those. Good questions. I said the first time I've taught this class, so you were thinking of some good questions. So I will check on those and see. I'm just going to click on this for a second and see. Yeah. There. Okay. I just answered the question. So I picked Stan. He's my brother, and I know he's got an Android, not an iPhone. Invalid recipient Stan Yarbrough cannot receive payments sent with Apple Cash this time. So it does verify that they can receive it, that they've got an Apple phone and it's set up. So in this case, I would have to send money to him some other way.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, and cancel. Good questions. And I've done all that already. The last thing I'll talk about, then we got time for a couple of questions, but I mentioned this one as well, is storing your boarding passes. And, this does vary depending on airline and process, but every time I've done it, either on the, I use American Air almost exclusively, but at the American Air website, when I've finished doing my getting my ticket, it'll have a link to download it to your phone, download boarding passes to your phone. After you get your boarding passes, you can either print or download to your phone. And I did a screenshot because I did travel recently. And so it downloaded it, but it had this option to add to Apple Wallet. And so this is also what you're looking for if you're trying to load a loyalty card or coupons or anything else. You need to have an add to Apple Wallet link. And so you touch that and that will download it. So this is where you're pushing something into your wallet from somewhere else as opposed to pulling it in like you do with a debit card or credit card. But once you've done that, then they're in your, and you can see I've already finished, but it's got those expired passes there, but there I can go in and pull up my boarding pass and step up and use it to check in. Right, got time for a couple of questions. Any other questions? Right, if not, we're going to go ahead and wrap up because we're out of time. So thanks so much for attending. Hope you enjoyed the class, learned some things about it. If you haven't tried it, give it a try. I think I said it before, but I think the main thing that I like about it is the fact that it protects your credit card numbers, because your credit card number isn't stored on your phone. It's not sent to the merchant. So that is a nice feature. So there will be class notes coming out after class. I mentioned I'm going to verify them. I think we got the answer about if it's Apple only, but so yep, we did get the answer to that. But there will be class notes with other information and links to related classes. So be on the lookout for that. And also, hopefully you'll give some class feedback. You get to the class notes and the feedback form either from the email that comes out after class, or you can go to your profile and click on My Class Notes.